Hello, this is Derek from VolitionRecordingStudio.com. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for watching this video. For those of you who are on this channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to this channel for more free tutorials on mixing and audio engineering related content. Alright, so this is the last part to the secrets to an amazing mix. This is step number 5. So if you see my previous videos, this is the kind of the last step, and this is the step where we kind of go back and forth quite a bit as we're just checking on some final details for the mix, whatever you're working on. So this is pretty applicable to any genre or music or anything you're doing in general. Now that we've finally reached this stage, this is kind of the final part where we want to make sure everything's going right. This video is going to be a little bit more boring. I do apologize because there's really not that much I can really show for this step regarding what to do. It's kind of more like some final checks and some things I want to bring up that I feel like you should definitely know. It is a little bit more drier compared to the other 4 parts that we have, but this is also a very important part because everything we did from before to now, we want to make sure that everything we did is on point and ready for the mastering process. So this part can take a while, or it could be really quick depending on how you built your mix so far. All right, so I'm going to go over 2 things that are really important for this phase. Especially it's really easy to miss, and a lot of people don't really think about this. So mastering is naturally the last step for music production, right? So we want to make sure that our mix is at its best. So what I mean by that is we want to check for a few things. So number 1, we want to use a reference track. So what is a reference track? So what that means is you want to find a real life example. So in this case, it will be another song that is similar to yours. Just say you found a song that you want to reference off of. For this reference track is you want to check how the low end instrument is doing, how the bass or the kick drum, or depending on what genre you're listening to, you want to look for the lower sounds and kind of compare that to yours. Like you want to listen to it and hear how loud it is or how dynamic it is, right? So that's actually the thing you're looking for when you bring in a reference track. So it kind of gives you a guideline to make sure that your low end is good. So another reason why that is also a good idea to use a reference track is sometimes maybe, hey, you can be listening to that song and you're like, hey, I like that idea, and you can probably try to implement that to your track. Just say like, you really like, how the guitar is, for example, brighter, or how that vocal sounds grungier or deeper or warmer. Whatever the case is, you can apply that to your track. So that's the cool thing about using a reference track. And another thing I want to mention is that you want to secure the best possible version of that reference track. So what I mean is every audio track has a type of format that it's tied down to. So I'm not going to get too into depth with that, but what I want to say is when you do secure your reference track, you want to make sure it's the WAV file. This is kind of where it gets a little tricky because most music that you buy or most music you listen to is generally MP3, the compressed version of the WAV. It's only because most speakers, most audio that you listen through, generally the speakers can't replicate those frequencies anyways. So I would recommend, if you can't find the WAV for the music file you're trying to reference off of, you can use converters. I know they aren't the greatest. The best way is to always have the original WAV file, but it's not that easily accessible. So I would recommend that you have use a converter in this case. I'll leave a description. I'll leave a link to where you can do that. So that kind of wraps up the first part of this 5th step. So the last part for this 5th step is, as you probably can have an idea, is it's the same idea as this one, is that you want to reference your mix on different speakers. So what I mean is try to listen to your mix or your song or your project on different types of ways to consume music. So what I mean by that is listen through your headphones, put the song through your laptop, computer, your car, iPhone, or Bluetooth speaker, whatever you can get your hands across, and whatever speakers you have available. Try to listen to your song through it. What you're trying to do is, how consistent does that your mix hold up on different speakers? That's very essential because some speaker types, or in this case some listening devices, might have better low end than others. Others might be more balanced, others might have more low end that it emphasizes on. So you want to check for those things, and you want to make sure that your song sounds great on different speaker types. And then you pretty much do the same thing. What you want to do is that you want to listen to it on low volume, mid volume, high volume. So again, feel free to, just say, for example, you're listening to your iPad or your laptop. Try to listen it to normal first, normal volume. Then try to bring your volume down to 30. And then if you want it a little bit louder, you can probably go 1. So what that does is you want to check how the frequencies sound on the different settings. Do the step over and over again until you get the optimal results for your mix. All right, so thank you very much for checking out my 5 secrets to amazing mix. And yeah, that wraps it up. Thank you very much, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.